This is David Brown. I hope you enjoy this video short, but know that this is only for informational purposes. It does not create an attorney-client relationship between you and the firm, and we recommend that you contact a licensed attorney if you have any questions or concerns about the information provided. We often get the question, what happens to me if I'm traveling internationally and my green card gets approved? Typically, those individuals who are traveling internationally already have an advance parole document at that time, or they're in a valid H or L status. There's nothing that's going to prevent the individual from coming back into the U.S., and there are a variety of ways of dealing with this. One way is, obviously, if you've got another family member who's available to get your green card, send it to you wherever you are internationally so that you can present it both to get on the plane and to get into the U.S. That is obviously a great opportunity to come in. Another alternative is potentially to have your loved one or friend show up at the port of entry with the actual green card in hand so that the folks at CBP can actually call this person back and get the document from them. But let's say none of those options are available to you. You haven't received the card yet, or no one is there to pick up the card for you, and you're coming back home. In those situations, I would typically want to tell the folks at CBP that you have an approved green card. And they may be in a position to look this up. You will either be presenting a valid L1 or H1 status or as a dependent, or you will be presenting an advance parole document. This is really post-specific in terms of what we've seen, and really officer-specific in a way. We have seen a number of different options where sometimes officers at the post will verify that you are in fact a permanent resident, and they will actually admit you as a permanent resident. And in those cases, there's no further processing necessary. You just simply go home, get your green card, and the next time you travel, you show that on entry along with your passport. In a situation, though, where the officer wants to put you through what's called deferred inspection, what they would do is they would collect your foreign passport, send it to the local office for CBP, and have you actually come in later, present your green card, at which point they will perfect or finish the entry and admit you into the U.S. as a permanent resident. That's another option available to them. And then finally, we do see situations where folks at the port of entry, and I would say this is probably on the lazy side of the spectrum, treat you either as a parolee based on your advance parole, or treat you as an H or L based on your H or L visa. Practically speaking, they do this just to make the re-entry easy, and then you essentially continue your green card process, at which point you get home and you have your permanent resident card. From a legal perspective, once you become a permanent resident, you're really not supposed to enter as an H or L or on your advance parole. You can be paroled in, but you typically would not enter on your advance parole. From an actual practical perspective, though, we typically accept those entries and then ensure that the individual travels at a later date, at which point they show their green card and come back in as a permanent resident. If you have any questions about your travel while you're pending for your green card and have an issue that you get your green card while you're traveling, please let us know. We'd be happy to help.